Motorcycle accident. Motorcycle include motor scooters and mopeds. Motorcycle riders are 8 times more likely to be injured per vehicle mile traveled than in the event of a crash. Have a 34-fold higher risk of death than people driving other types of motor vehicles. Motorcycle accidents are three kinds: single vehicle accident, collision with other vehicle, accident striking of a pedestrian. A single vehicle accident. Mechanism of production of injury: motorcycle may slide, overturn or pin the rider. The driver may be ejected and catapulted either alone or with passengers in the direction of the movement of the vehicle. Injuries: typical primary impact, secondary impact. Second injuries are not seen. As are seen in collision with other vehicle. Fracture of bone, especially open leg fractures, are quite common. Large grey separation due to gliding of the body along the rough road surface. Head injury, leading cause of death in single motorcycle crashes and head-on collision. Contribute to 50% of all motorcycle death. Ring fracture, common because of impact of a crown of head upon vertebral column. Motorcycle fracture, classic fracture seen in motorcycle due to falling on the ground. Seen as a transverse crack crosses the middle cranial fossa behind the greater wing of sphenoid, crosses through the pituitary fossa through the opposite side. Frequently it continues upward to the temporal lobe as a fissured fracture. Is that divided the skull roughly into two equal halves, anterior and posterior. The two halves can be moved independently of each other like a hinge. The fracture is seen both in drivers as well as in pillion driver. The brain matter may be extruded through the compound fracture of skull, egg shelling of skull. The crash helmet reduces the risk of injury in two ways. Mechanical protection of skull reduce friction of head against the ground by allowing the protected head to skid across the ground. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration of US has found that the motorcycle helmet are 37% effective in preventing death, and 65% effective in preventing brain injuries in a crash. Their greatest value is in protecting of lower speed and tangential impact. Examination of helmet. A helmet which allows glancing linear scratches indicated a less severe brain injury than one in which there is direct impact imprint. Cervical injury in about 25% of cases. Cervical spine fractures occurs. Injuries to lower extremities if driver falls first and motorcycle falls upon him. The lower extremities is the most common site of an injury in all motorcycle crashes, including non-fatal cases. About 30 to 70% of cases injured riders of the fractures. Tibia most commonly fractured, followed by femur, foot bone and patella. Femoral bone fractures are most common long bone injury in motorcycle death. Strangulation due to pull of the helmet string around the neck. Run over by a speeding of vehicle completely unconnected with the accident. Collision with other vehicles. Injury to driver. Primary impact injury. A disarticulation of a limb. The impact is of a glancing nature. It is the most common, more severe lesion. Example: lung contusion, rupture and separation of heart from the aorta, rupture abdominal viscera if impact is head-on due to shock of initial impact. Chest and abdominal injuries are the second most common cause of fatal motorcycle crashes after head injury, comprising 7 to 25% of motorcycle death. Underrunning or tailgating. The secondary impact injury. Head injuries when secondary impact is on the colliding vehicle. Before the use of helmet was mandatory for riders, severe head injuries were common. Many of these used to be fatal. When secondary impact is due to projection of on vehicle, large external laceration on groins and legs by protruding object. Example: handlebar, mirror, projection levers. Laceration of internal organs. may tear liver spleen causing massive internal bleeding. Intestine may torn. Secondary injuries when thrown on the ground. Burn if at the time of contact with the ground the gas tank explodes. Crushing injury of the head under the tires of the colliding vehicle. Facial injuries occurring 25% of all injured riders associated with a risk of traumatic brain injuries. Thoracic spine most commonly injured spinal region. The cervical spine injuries are more likely to occur in fatal crashes than those other two spinal regions. Injury to pillion riders may be seen in a single vehicle accident also. As a pillion driver falls off the back of a motorcycle, he may sustain a fracture of posterior cranial fossa, abrasion and laceration on the back, especially of projecting part, head and elbow, counter coup, contusion and frontal lobe. Accidental striking of a pedestrian. Accidental striking of a pedestrian injured suffered by pedestrian are same as the occurring when struck by cars. So this abrasion, laceration, injury to pillion rider, cervical spine injury, more than crushing injury, thoracic spine most common, counter lesion of frontal lobe, laceration of internal organs. Thank you.